Alrighty, welcome back to the second episode of Otaku Garage S15 build. Alright, so a few of the issues that we found and come up against when we first test fitted the motor was the intake manifold does clash with the clutch master. So at the moment I've got the clutch master completely out of the car. We've removed all the ABS system because we will do a small relocation. We're just going to move it further into the wheel arch. So we're going to rerun a bunch of the brake lines. So for now we've pulled all of that out. I've pulled the engine loom back through because we're going to have to splice that open and remove the ABS loom out of that, and some of the body loom for like the side indicators and stuff are also located in that engine harness. So we'll have to separate that, and it can go away with the SR20 and ECU to the new owner. And then we can keep the ABS and the body harness and rewire it accordingly. I've also pulled out the body harness from the right-hand side of the car, so that way we can do a fuse box relocation and, you know, further aid the wire tuck that we'll be doing with the vehicle. I spoke to Bradley, and because we're doing a shaved engine bay on it, we decided to do a wiper motor relocation as well. So we packed it up, put it on a car trailer, and we sent it off to my friend Nathan, who's done the wiper motor relocation for us. And then it came back, and we only had a few days before it was meant to go to paint and panel and get completely resprayed. So I quickly pulled it all apart, hoping to get the shaved engine bay done. But the body kit hasn't been made in time, so we've now got a delay on when it's going to paint and panel. I'll run you guys quickly through a few things that we found. When we removed the front bar and took the intercooler out, some of the front of the chassis has been heavily mangled as a result to make the intercooler fit. So we're going to trim that up and we'll tidy that up soon. So as you can see here, the inner fender's also been heavily cut out to fit the intercooler piping through here in a really odd manner. So we'll clean all that up. Like battery trays and stuff are going to get removed as we shave it. So we'll redo all the intercooler piping holes and fix all that up. The wiper motor's been removed from the engine bay here, and it's all being plated off. And then Nathan's made new bracketry over here, re-engineered the Heim joints and put the wiper motor here. Now it's not wired in today, so we can't show you it running today, but I'll cut to some footage that Nathan has sent me and show you what he did for us. We'll be back on filming today, getting the engine and gearbox back in, fitting up the turbo and the manifold and the intake manifold and stuff again, now that all those parts are here, and we'll start playing around with mock-up of a lot more of the parts to work out what we need to shave, where we need to drill, and go from there. That is one engine mount, two engine mounts, and this will be a gearbox mount. Can come out of the box. That'll be our new transmission mount. So I don't need that one right now, so it can stay in the box, and we'll swap these guys out. That should be on the other side technically.
13Bs, just never blown one up. Never seen one blow up, ever, in my life.
How long have you owned your FD?
A year.
How long have you driven it on the road for in that year?
Including pushing?
No.
Is it scary that it's been about a week?
So, remind me why it's the pinnacle of engines?
I've seen more RBs blow up than 13Bs. In all fairness though,
there's more RBs.
There's more RBs on the road.
Going to want to will I weld that on there and put that on there, or will we just go with the straight one? Yeah, we'll probably end up putting the wastegate, mostly so we have clearance for the screamer to come out the bottom and then still have room to get plumbed back in. Because if we have it back here, it's going to just dump straight into that. So we'll have to put it here at that angle, and we won't put anything into a permanent location until we've got a dump pipe mocked up.
What's staying in the engine bay, what's not? So stuff like, is there going to be an airbox? Is there going to be a reservoir for water for the water squirters for the windscreen? Is there going to be what's staying, what's not?
You need to put those things in the car. I thought we were finished. No, yeah. We will have an airbox specifically made to keep it legal, keep it tidy. You know, a lot of people don't like the look of just a pod filter floating in the air, so we will build an airbox and have ducting to bring air into it. And we're undecided whether we put a pod filter in there or a panel filter in there yet, but we will finalize that design shortly. We're sort of just mocking up everything else. We're moving the ABS unit further up into the guard. We will be keeping ABS because we will need to be using those wheel speed sensors for the traction control set up with the Motec. So like the MAC valve and a lot of those wires we're going to put up in the back there, and then we'll create paneling to hide all the brake lines and to neatly hide the ABS unit and all that sort of stuff. So when you're looking at the engine bay, your focus will be what's sort of already sitting in the engine bay, and you know, things like fuse boxes or air boxes are going to be designed in a simple way that doesn't draw your attention away from the bright red RB26 sitting in the engine bay, because that's the last thing we want to do. So
it's going shaved, but only the sort of really necessary stuff is going in the engine bay. The rest we're hiding.
Yeah.
And cool.
We're hiding, tucking, and deleting as much as possible. That's why we've, you know, opted with putting the wiper motor in the front guard, because it does the exact same job, but that gives us more room for the ABS unit to get moved out of there, and just not having that big unit in the engine bay looks 10 times better already.
So we're going to work that around. Is it getting a catch can as well? ATP catch can?
Yes, yeah. Cool. The catch can sits up here at the front.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so the catch can will sit there, and we'll tuck all the ABS unit back up to the back there.
Beautiful.
And we'll tie the catch can in with the airbox so that, again, it's not really something that's noticed. As many places as we can, we'll use hardline, because we can hub hardline and route it in ways that is unseen, unnoticed, and because it's a hardline, it holds itself in position. And we'll just use flexi line where it's needed for movement of the engine, etc. Cool. So on the last episode, we had a cross member. We put it up and it didn't line up. I found a B cross member. I'm pretty sure C is going to be the one that we need to use. I've ordered it, got it coming. But I found a B cross member here in our spare parts box, so we'll try it today while we're waiting for the C to come in, and if it works, then I can always send the C back to the records. the B's actually offset backwards.
The wrong way.
It's the wrong way. So B doesn't work, but it's enough that we can at least hold the gearbox up there, and when the C arrives, hopefully that's
Nice and easy, you don't have to drop it back out and in, and
yeah, I can just jack it up, put the mount on, put the C on. Otherwise we'd make it a cross member, which isn't a big deal. So, that is where the ABS unit factory mounts. Now, it's pretty obvious, especially to see from here, dump pipe's going to be a huge clash with it. So what we want to do is move the ABS unit all the way up into here. But the problem with that is this bracket's not going to work. So I think out of the studs there, if I cut all of this bracketry off that it mounts on currently and just keep the U piece, I could then probably utilize this and weld off of it and remake my own mounts for it. But for now, I'll undo the two 10mm. We'll just take the whole unit out of there and just sort of see if it's viable or, you know, a smart idea to mount it up in there. It still gives us enough room to put the plugs in. It will be inconvenient to ever unplug it, but we could always unbolt it and unplug it. It's hopefully not something that you're unplugging. I mean, from factory, you never really touch those plugs until you're pulling the loom through the firewall anyway, so. Ta-da!
I like it.
Bingo. That is where it's gonna live, which we're probably gonna...
That scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
That scares me a lot of it, actually.
Yeah, looking at that, it's not really ideal for an RB26 turbo placement because the SR would have a turbo back here.
Yeah, weirdly enough, it's not the right catch can for the engine combination that we need.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure we could work around that. Again, I could drop 90s and go hardline and run it down along the chassis, come up, and then just have soft lines off of the fittings.
Yep.
Which I was looking at, and I was concerned that once we press the fittings into the rocker covers and put the things on it, the aeroflow fittings on it, that this one may have bonnet clearance issues. This one shouldn't be too bad because it's on an angle, but that one basically goes straight up. So I have a feeling we may have to play around with some ideas there so we don't hit the bonnet. But yeah, that's where it's going to fit. I'm pretty sure, worst case, even if I have to push it in a couple more mils like that.
And re-drill some holes and nutserts and stuff like that might be our friend.
But that's where it will live, and I reckon we just go 2 90s and then hard line it down and keep it all tucked away. Or the fittings go at the back or something. I'm not sure. We could definitely, if they went off the back here, we could probably work with one off the back maybe. We could play around with it.
And then off that there, I guess you can also make a nice little cover for a filter there, which can sort of sit around that and make everything nice and pretty.
Thank you for watching another episode. That's going to wrap it up for this one. So what we got up to is obviously we've dummy fitted it all back in and just started mocking up little things around the engine bay just to work out where we're going to start shaping and making new mount holes for everything. So come join us in the next episode where we start tackling that. Maybe we have a gearbox cross member in time to actually install it, and we'll see you then. So please like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends about us. We appreciate it. See you next time.
RB25 with 26 covers. You would never know. We could have been telling you this whole time. It's 26. It's actually a 20.
Dude, what? You say that, our RB20's got 26 covers on it, and like so many people.
RB20 head, 30 bottom end, 26 covers. You would never know.
When we first posted photos of our 180 with the RB20, the 26 covers and the 2 turbos, like all of the people on the internet that weren't Australian and didn't really have experience with it, like, oh my god, you put an RB26 in, it's like, gotcha, it's a 20.